It's Sunday night, and welcome everybody from all of our different platforms.
Yes, let's see. We are on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, and we got boom, just like that. We got almost 140 people watching us. That's awesome. We are delighted to have you guys with us on this Sunday night. Rainy Sunday. I don't know if it's like this all over the country. Is it? What?
I don't know, but
we're up in Michigan still.
Have had solid rain all day.
Yeah, much to our dog Bo's chagrin.
He is not a happy puppy.
He is not. He gets his morning hike with us, which is really good for us.
It's fun. It's a pleasant hour. I know somebody said, why would you need 24 acres for a dog park?
Oh, yeah.
It is the best dog park, and you can walk. They tell you how many miles for the different loops when you walk around, so people can easily get in a couple of miles walk while they've got their dog out.
To help explain that, we did a video some time ago in the dog park we take Bo to, and that's 24 acres. And somebody had said, that's a waste of space.
He said it was a waste of space. It isn't a waste of space. Yeah. People from all over the metropolitan area like to come to our dog park.
There are a lot of curmudgeons out there, right? But here's somebody who's not a curmudgeon. And to get us started, let's bring Phyllis Carr on. Are you feeling curmudgeonly tonight at all?
Sometimes I do, yes, but not today. No.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Well, let's tell everybody how this all works so they'll know about posting questions and comments. And sometimes it goes by real quick and we have trouble picking them all up. But first of all, are we working on the Facebook group? I got to notice that there was some problem with the Facebook group.
Yeah, on the Facebook group is the link over to YouTube. So if the Facebook people are feeling brave and they want to come on over to YouTube, they can do that. Or they can go to the page. And that's the post I'm in the middle of posting here, is they can just go to the page and watch. It didn't link it properly inside of the group. And that just, it's technology. It happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's not our problem, right? No, I didn't cause that problem. It was Facebook. It's a Facebook issue, compatibility issue with our streaming software. But
it's constant with Facebook. So,
but you YouTubers and the people on the Facebook page, you should have us great. And give them the standard and how we know when there's a question, because we see a lot of people saying hi, and we love to. We want to make sure that we answer as many questions as we can.
Yeah, and the YouTube people, they got it down pretty good. They know if you have a question, you type question in all caps and then type out the question. If you have a comment, you type comment in all caps, and it's easier for us to see. We have comments and questions from Facebook and from YouTube coming into one queue that we see. So if you're on Facebook, it might take us a while to get to yours. Don't worry about it. We are doing our best to get it in there. Don't type it up, twice. That Michael will eventually get to it. So that's basically it.
All right. Well, Phyllis will be helping moderate all of our questions. This week we're going to have some written ones that were sent in advance, and we'll get to those too throughout the thing. So Phyllis, thank you for that. And jump back in if there's anything we need to know as you keep track of the crazy stream out there of everybody going.
All righty.
Sometime we'll have to show everybody the screen we get. We get one on the right, and everything kind of goes up and down really quick.
Oh, it does. And I just saw one that intrigued me. Thomas Wells. She said that it's not raining in Gaylord.
Oh, well, yeah.
It's raining in Kalamazoo because our son and daughter-in-law live in Kalamazoo, and it was raining there.
It was.
And we have had rain the entire day.
Hey, as we get started, let us say that this was a big week for us because yesterday we finally launched our latest book, the one that we have been talking about for a long time. Hopefully you all know about it. It's called the Great Lakes Shoreline Tour, and it is a tour of all 5 of the Great Lakes, in which we tell you a suggested route. We tell you what to look for, a little bit about all the communities, about the things around the lake to see. And it's a 4,000-mile trip that visits 8 states, and it's a little different than our other tour, our 7-day adventure guides. This one is not a 7-day. How long did we spend on that?
We spent basically the summer.
Yeah, basically an entire summer when we did it all in one fell swoop. And since then we've gone back and done different legs of it. But the book it's a lot of fun, and I think that people will enjoy it. Let me show you the link one more time. Just go there. It's available. It's an ebook, instant download. It is not yet a print book. I know several of you have asked about that, and we're kind of thinking about that. It's a completely different ball game when you have a print book and an ebook, and sometimes you got to make the two. The document for the ebook's got to translate to the print, and you don't need to know that except to know that we're thinking about it. We'll
except to know it's hard.
Huh?
Except to know that it's difficult.
Yeah, just know that it doesn't happen like that.
It isn't as easy as it sounds.
Yeah, it isn't as easy as it sounds. So, and I think we had to do. What do you think if we did a contest about because we have several that we're thinking about next.
Yeah.
So I just name a couple of them.
Sure.
And maybe we'll do a contest on Facebook or YouTube.
How are you going to do a contest?
Well, to see which ones they think. One of them, because I'm reading a book on it actually right now, it's really exciting, is the Great River Road that runs from Minnesota all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico, following the Mississippi River. So that's one. And then we are also thinking about doing one on the Bourbon Trail of Kentucky, which is a really neat trip. And then we're also thinking about doing one on the Natchez Trace, which we just did. So think about that and let us know. I do have a way, by the way, I wanted to share our address that when you want to talk about the show, sometimes people send us spam on this and we hate to put it out, but so far it's been okay to use this. This is our email address. If you have a question or a comment about the content of this program or our videos, and if you want to send us a video question, you can also do that. We can put that in the podcast. Just do it like a selfie question. Hey, Mike and Jen, you're looking great tonight. Here's my question. And then you can just email that to that address and we'll have it.
We've been married too long. I imagine saying, hey, you're looking good.
You imagine the same thing?
I was thinking, yeah, we've been together too long.
All right. So that's how you can get a hold of us and let us know your thoughts on what could be our next book. And now let's get to your questions for tonight. Thank you to Phyllis. By the way, shout out to Chris Cowley over on YouTube, who's also helping keeping everything working there. Thank you, Chris. We got to get Chris a webcam so we can at least have Chris jump in and say hi to everybody. Here's one from Jerry Cornelius. Hi, Jerry.
We want to take your recommendation and visit the UP. Is 1 month better than another? I would say stay away from the months where the bugs are bad. I like the fall. I like winter.
And the bugs are the worst in the UP in really June until about this time, maybe a little later in July. But they die down pretty quickly after that.
Fall is such a wonderful time of the year. I think most of the country.
I would pick
fall
October, late September, October, and I don't think you can go wrong. It's almost always just drop dead gorgeous up there with the leaves. So that's good. And we have a similar question that came in early, and this one is from Rich. And he said,
Mike, what is the best time of year to do your Great Lakes trip? We are retired, so no school issues. We do have a golden retriever.
Well, you'll have a great time with your golden retriever on a trip. The shoreline tour, because you're really starting in New York. Depends on where you want to start, because that book, you don't have to spend the whole summer doing the shoreline tours we were talking about. You can jump in at any time. You can do part of one lake, 2 lakes, whatever you want. You can spend a week, 2 weeks, a month. So depend on where you want to go. The UP is buggy in the early summer.
And when we were in New York, it was
very buggy. Yeah, it was very buggy.
Seems to be prime time for the insects to be out.
But
I wonder where he's from.
I think June is a good month overall for most of the Great Lakes. July and August are peak travel times, and it can get hot and humid by the lakes. So I'd say late spring or early to mid fall would be the perfect time. Fall would give you fewer people on the road.
I think, I remember back when we decided we were going to start early in May to get our traveling and everything. And then we ran into spring storms.
We did. That was going west.
Yeah. Not that you can't have storms any time of the year, but we thought we were so smart getting started before the rush.
Yeah, those storms that we hit were really out west and in the spring in May. And I remember there were times that we just drove all night long because we wanted to dodge the storm. So,
Mhm.
so that's a great question. Keeping track of the weather, keeping track of the bugs. But in the Great Lakes tour, you can't go wrong with fall, September, October. If you want swimming weather, you want to do it in the middle of the summer and avoid the bugs. The bugs in late May, early June.
Fall is my favorite time of year.
Yeah, mine too. So good question here, buddy.
Mhm.
Ron has a question while he's saying hi from upstate New York. Thanks, Ron, for jumping in. And Julie R. is in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Right where I-75 starts to head off into Georgia. Thank you. John Haldeman.
All right. Did LTV, Leisure Travel Van, pull out of the Hershey RV show? I don't see them listed as a participating manufacturer on the Hershey RV website.
John, they don't tell me. The last time I asked anybody there about a month ago, they were planning on going. So I don't know what to tell you. We will be there, but again, we don't work for LTV. They're a sponsor, but we don't work for them, and so I don't know. They don't check their schedules. But the last I knew is that they were going to be there. Now I would think that maybe certainly some of their dealers will be at that show. They may not be there because of the part shortage and the chassis. They just don't want they don't want to stop the assembly line for those who've been waiting for months and months and build show vehicles to show off. That's just conjecture on my part. I don't know. And John,
I wish we could tell you, John. Sorry.
I would hope they would be there, but
yeah,
I don't run the company either. So, but we'll be there.
Any COVID problems, you think?
I know they had
Going back
COVID
and
problems up there in Manitoba late, in the last couple months they had some, but I think it's easing up there too. I don't know.
I don't know how easy it is to.
I know we can't go back. We can't go to Canada
We
yet.
can't
so.
go to Canada, but you were telling me the Canadians can come here. Maybe once they
if
come
they're
here, they don't
fully
let them go back home.
vaccinated. Yeah.
It might. Yeah.
If they're fully vaccinated. Somebody, by the way, wrote us a question and they wanted us to do a Great Lakes shoreline tour of the Canadian side. Well,
that would be fun.
It would be about 10,000 miles. I've said in the video we released yesterday, it was 8,000. It's more like 10,000.
And I'm sure it's not as developed as this side. I bet it's beautiful.
But they won't let Americans in. So I'm not going because they won't let me in.
You're not going to.
But when we get going, that would give us that'd give us something that'd be fun to do. We do love the Canadian side. It's great. Lindy Rollins.
I have an LTV Unity 2021. If I am home and the Dometic refrigerator is off, do I still need to level the van?
No. I don't know how unlevel you are, but no, you do not have to. If it's really bad, you might want to level it because you don't want things to settle.
You don't want pressure on tires.
They're not, we don't. But so in our case, like ours, my driveway where it parks, it's a little bit off, but not very much. If it was really off, I would level it. It just makes sense.
I don't know how often you drive it. Why not level it?
Yeah. It doesn't. It certainly isn't going to hurt you. And you don't want all that Freon to settle in one spot, and it depends on how long it sits there, tires, and it's just a generally good idea to level it.
But we don't level ours.
No,
because our driveway.
Ours is driven every 2 or 3 days, so
yeah,
and our driveway isn't that far off, so we don't have to do it. Good question.
Very good question.
Dave Orovitz.
Have you used mixed tiles in your RV? If yes, on what surfaces did you hang them? Any problems repositioning them?
Dave, just go look at any of the videos that we shot and you'll see mixed tiles all throughout the RV. And I just slapped them on the wall and had no problem. In fact, we put some of those pictures that you see in our current Wonder were in the Unity that we had before. We had that last year. We picked up the Wonder last June of 20. And I just took them off the Unity and walked across the parking lot and put them in the new Wonder, and we took possession, and they've stayed there ever since. In
other words, it's a good product.
And really good product.
Yes, you can restick them. It doesn't pull anything off the wall, and that's a great question.
Mixed tiles, what they do is they work with all the photos on your phone, and you can pick your phone, just boom, I want that, and it'll print it up to the size you want. They'll come back in a little frame with peel-off stickies. They're really great. They
really are.
And in this, it's really fun having those photos up. So any of the videos that you see, when we have today, if you look, you see Jennifer messing with our refrigerator, loading it up. I think there's a couple shots in the background of some of the mixed tiles. Got a big picture of Bo running through the snow, and some of our favorite pictures from our trips. And that's a lot of fun. Really personalizing inside of the RV.
Yes, it is.
Good question, Dave. Thank you. Stephen Loy. Hi, Stephen.
I just got back from a one-night camping trip with my grandson. Many times state parks have last-minute cancellations, and I took advantage of one last night.
Yeah,
that's great.
That's the great thing about cancellations. And, they're all filled, but usually if you get there and say, do you have any cancellations? And every park has a little different policy and how long they hold a site. It's a little tighter now because of, so much demand, but good for you. Last minute cancellations make it possible for a lot of people to cancel.
You got there while somebody was still in the office.
Yeah.
So that you could get in.
That is really good. One of the problems that we keep getting reports about are people who are making reservations at multiple campsites because they want to make sure they have a spot, and then they'll pick the best one weather-wise, and they don't cancel the other ones, and state parks or the campground has to hold them for X amount of hours or days after a reservation because people aren't canceling, and that's just not good. If you're going to not show, tell people so you can free it up.
I've noticing in Michigan that there seems to be a shortage of people working on staff.
I've noticed that too.
I don't know if that's reflective of everything. You can't get people to work. But it seems like they've been shorthanded.
Yeah, I think that's the case in many of our state parks too. They can't get the help they want, right. like everybody else. We camped at the Gourd Barn. I have no idea what the Gourd Barn is, but it sounds like a fun place.
You gotta tell us where it is.
Sounds like a Harvest Host place. I don't know. Don, I don't know what it is, but I like gourds. So it'd be kind of fun. Deborah Fieldson.
Hello from California, my first live chat. Well, thank you, Deborah, for joining us.
Thank you, Deborah. I hear it's very hot out there. Hey, from Canada, up in BC, Maureen Tweedley.
Loved your Great Lakes tour. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. That book came out yesterday, and we have been really fun. It's been really fun. It's really been fun getting a lot of feedback from people who are reading it, who said, "Oh, I didn't know that. I live in that area. I didn't know that was near here." So thank you, Maureen. Maureen, good to see you. Nate Hurleman.
What do you think of the Winnebago Echo?
Yeah, I like it. I like it a whole lot. I'm just a little better. My friends James and Steph got one before we did. No, it's a really nice unit, and it's a big RV, bigger than most of theirs. It's expensive. It's a high end from Winnebago, but it's really loaded for the kind of camping that we do, which is boondocking and off the grid. I'm really impressed with the Echo. Our friends at the Fit RV, that's the couple that have the Echo. They just got it, and we've been enjoying their videos too. I plan to jump in and out of one a lot when we're at Hershey in a couple of months. So it's a very neat RV. Tina LaPlaca.
Van life is my dream to do upon retirement, but I am solo now, and I have no girlfriends to travel with. There are solo female travelers, but I think it's safer with a companion. What do you think? Well,
we meet a lot of solo women travelers, and you did a whole video interview with a whole bunch of them. What did you find out from that?
They were all comfortable traveling by themselves. It's kind of common sense. Use your instincts. If it doesn't feel right at a campsite, leave. But they were just fine. And you also can be in your own rig by yourself and join a group and travel with a group, because sometimes it's fun to be with a group. You don't have to do everything they do, but if you want company, they're there. And if you don't, you can be by yourself.
You'll quickly make friends, and they'll say, "Hey, I'm going up to Big Bear this weekend. They've got extra spots open. You want to go?" And you'll go, and you'll soon find that there's a whole community out there on the road. But a large percentage, a surprisingly large percentage of all the RVers that we meet in normal years, this is not a normal year, it's so busy, but in normal years, a large percentage are female solo travelers.
Yeah, what is the percentage in the Class Bs?
I think in the Class B, it was at least 15% that
I thought it was larger than that.
it might have been, but I think one manufacturer told us it was 50. He thought 15% of, and that was Road Treks back several years ago, that they thought 15% of their buyers were solo females. So, so Tina, I wouldn't worry much about it. I think you'll find it's great, and there's help everywhere. So
you wouldn't go off boondocking in the middle of nowhere.
Some do.
A lot of women do. A lot of men do. It's not.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do that until you're comfortable with it and you know the ins and outs of RVing. And but always, you said it right at the top. Trust your gut.
It sounds like there's no Bo. Our dog is Bo, and he barks all
no
the
dog.
time.
Yeah,
no dog.
Yeah. Get a dog, Tina. Dogs will bark, and that's always good for security.
But our
and
dog
it's good for
before
companionship.
Bo didn't bark.
He did not bark.
He did
Ty
not bark.
No.
I don't know what they did to him, but he would not bark.
Bo likes to bark. KK Kayak.
What is your favorite Great Lake? Looking forward to your new book.
Oh, thank you.
Depends on what day of the week it is.
Yeah, it depends on what day of the week it is. Normally we would say Superior. I know Jen loves Superior. I love Superior. But in practicality, I think we tend to spend more time on Lake Huron and then Lake Michigan. We just did this video that went up yesterday on the YouTube channel on Lake Huron, and you'll see what a really beautiful lake that is. And we both sort of grew up on Lake Huron, on Saginaw Bay of Lake Huron. That was our home. If you look at Michigan, Saginaw Bay is this hunk right in here. And we grew up right there.
In Bay City.
And so, and then we love this stretch of shoreline going up this way, up on in Michigan. And we also love it going around the Thumb and then down to Port Huron, which is about there. So Lake Huron in practicality is probably, people would say, is our favorite. I think we would still say Superior. Superior is so big and deep.
Now, Lake Michigan they're all different beauty.
Yeah.
Lake Michigan is beautiful. The blue and the sand
dunes.
Yeah.
Particularly
Lake Michigan.
Up in this part.
People prefer Lake Michigan, most people, to Huron.
They call Lake Michigan the third coast. That's how popular it is. So, Lake Ontario, we were surprised how beautiful that is up in New York. And Lake Erie, we found some delightful places to stay there as well. So, back to the early part, the way you answered it is what day of the week is it and where are we? But if we were pushed to the limit, Superior is our favorite.
Yes.
I think it's because it's wilder.
It's wilder, and the sky is darker at night, and the waves can get very fierce.
Superior is so big that it actually has tides.
And I remember you bribing our kids. You give them some money if they jumped in because the water is so cold.
Yeah, it's like always cold.
And I don't think they would do it.
They did. No, they all did it once.
They all do it once.
They all did it once. Yep. Oh, well. Thanks for the question, and thank you for the kind words of the book. James Massey.
Okay, are we ever going to pen an ebook on user done maintenance?
Oh, no.
Wet in Texas, too. They're getting rain in Texas.
James, I'm not much of a DIY person, or I'm not nearly as mechanical as I should be. I would love to learn more and be more proactive in doing maintenance, but
maybe that'd be a story. You could go do one of those classes that they used to offer at Elkhart, where now with the thoughts coming, we should both do that.
Yeah.
Learn
I think
something.
you know what, you just challenged me, James. I think I'm going to find a course somewhere, and we'll do a video on it as well. Of course, it's hard when you do a video.
You can't.
You're so into doing the video, you don't pay attention, but I still can do something. So if I got to find the right course, and I think that's a really great idea. But I don't know if I'd do a book on it because I don't have any expertise in that.
And things change.
Yeah, they do. I mean, little things that, I pick up on how to operate and turn on things, and, that's good. But
even like some of our owner manuals, how to turn the water off, turn the water on, things change.
They do.
Maybe people forget to update manuals.
They forget to put which side the valve's on and all that. So,
yeah.
But you challenged us. Maybe we'll find a course that we can do
In your
get
spare
better.
time?
Yeah, in my spare time. William Reynolds.
I took your advice and I'm using Easy Auto Ship. Abby is wonderful. It keeps me updated and informed. I should have my storyteller Overland delivered this week. Thank you.
Storyteller Overland, a great off-road adventure if you're overlanding, and they're just great. They're made in Huntsville, Alabama, and every time we go down there a lot, past there, and every time we try and get an appointment, the factory was closed for COVID, or Jeff, our guy down there, was not around, and we keep wanting to do a tour of the factory. We've seen the rigs on the road, or at the shows, rather, not on the road, at the shows. You're going to have one. They're beautifully well-made rigs, and you'll have a great time with it. So
I have never seen anything like it, because you thought COVID was over, and then they had just a couple of workers at the factory who had it, and they shut down again.
Shut down again. That was last spring.
Yeah,
I think.
because we've been trying for quite a while.
Yeah, so
we want to get there.
Go. We do. Leslie Harding.
Planning a trip next year to Glacier, and we'll be using HH locations for overnight stays. That's Harvest Host. Can you recommend resources to find potable water, dump stations?
Yeah.
Not in campgrounds.
Go to rvlifestyle.com, our travel blog, and I think you have to look up under, let me go do it here. Let's see. Go to, oh gosh, where is it? Under extras across the top, there's a thing that says RV Lifestyle Partners. And if you check that, you will you'll see a listing for something called All Stays Pro. And it is awesome. It is a browser-based site. They also have an app for it, and you can get it with the apps as well. And it will show you where all those locations are. And it's a pretty cool thing. So check it out. You can get it right through our partners page at rvlifestyle.com. But All Stays is the app to use. It'll tell you exactly what you need. And you'll love Glacier, by the way. James Holmes.
Sorry to hear about the bikes. What are you both riding now? Good vibes.
What is he hearing about the bikes?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We have the same bikes. We haven't traded them in or anything.
Yeah, we still have our e-bikes.
Maybe what you were thinking kind of vibrated out there. You were kind of thinking that.
I was thinking that we wanted the collapsible ones, and that we could then put both of them in the I don't
want to sell ours and buy two collapsible.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe.
I don't either.
I don't want any maybes.
We love our e-bikes, but we don't take them with us all the time. And one of the
biggest reason
is we're working all the time. And we have a furry dog named Bo who can't go bike riding with us.
I'm not going to ride a bike and have Bo on a leash.
No.
There are too many bunnies out there.
Dave Orovets again.
Are you a subscriber to, and have you used RV Trip Wizard? What are your thoughts about using it?
Yes, we do use it pretty much all the time whenever we're doing a trip, particularly a trip to an area that we're not familiar with. I think it's the best trip planning tool out there. We are able to, our rule, which is the 330 rule, the 330 rule, which is
that you drive no more than 330 miles, or you stop at 330 so you can get into your campsite without issue, relax a little bit, take a deep breath, and
maybe tour around, go for a hike. Yep.
Enjoy.
So we will use RV Trip Wizard, and I will set up on my, first of all, it takes a look at our rig, and it knows how many miles a gallon I get, which is about 12 and a half to 13 miles. And it will say, hey, you're going to need to get gas about this place on your route. So that's a big help. And then it'll, I can even go down and say there's a Sunoco station at this exit, or near this crossroads in this town. But I like it. It'll draw me a 330 circle, and then I can look for campgrounds there. I can click on the campgrounds. I can check reviews on the campgrounds. I can go to their website and book those campgrounds if that's what we're into. Or if we want to find a place to boondock, it will at least show me where I want to look. I just think it's such a great piece of software, and you can save every trip. So how many times have you gone on a trip, you've been back in the same area and said, where did we go where did we stop the last time? I can't remember. So it helps. The partner page right here on the RV Lifestyle, if you just go to that page directly, you'll see RV Trip Wizards there, and many of our partners will give you a special perk because you coming from RV Lifestyle. So check that out. You can find it. But we like RV Trip Wizard a lot. It's a lot of fun. Larry Whitesell.
Our new fifth wheel has on-demand water heater. It doesn't seem to have a constant temperature. Is that normal?
Well, I don't know what brand you have, Larry. Ours is the AquaGo Pro, and it has different settings. There's 3 or 4 different settings on the little temperature wheel, and there's an eco setting which will kind of keep it warm, but it just will do it. It doesn't keep it as warm as you might like it. And another kind is a constant temperature. We only turn it on when we're going to use it, because I don't like hearing the heater run. I don't like hearing that boiler run to keep things warm. However, I do love the instant hot water.
Yeah, I was going to say,
unreal.
We don't need to leave it on all the time because it heats the water so quickly.
Yeah.
Just turn it on and you got hot water in a couple seconds.
So we'll use it typically for dishes. We'll just turn it on, and in just a minute or two, the water's really hot. And we'll use it to take a shower. Same thing. I'll turn it on. I don't leave it on. Well, I leave it on. I leave the boiler on, outside the rig where you turn it on. But the little control which actually activates it inside the rig, I don't turn that on until just before we're going to need it. But it does have a constant temperature. So without knowing which kind you have, I would suggest that maybe you don't have the control set right. So look at the manual or call the company and tell them in detail what the issues would be. But in our case, it's pretty constant.
I like the horse. Larry's got a horse.
Larry's got a horse. Yeah.
That makes me wonder where he lives.
I'm watching a series. My son, Jeff, told us about it, called Yellowstone. Have you seen it? Kevin Costner's in it. It's about this guy with a big ranch. It's kind of like The Sopranos are for ranchers out west, but it's a really good show. But I love the horses and I love the outside. And if we ever go west, I'm getting me a horse. Hutch Richen 3.
Our wonder now pushed back until September 2022. Not too happy, but I believe it will be worth it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too happy either.
Here's the thing, you got to weigh, is a year of not being able to go out in RV worth the wait? And for a lot of people, and it's not just Leisure Travel Van that has that massive delay. A lot of people are just saying, I'm going to find something else, and they are going to other brands. So
well, it depends on if you're retired and you're ready for great big trips, or if you're still working and you just got a couple little trips in mind that you planned on making. I think that's a big deal.
Really blunt. It depends on how much lifetime you got left. The older you get, the sooner that goes.
The older you get, the more you realize.
Do I have a year to wait? No, I need to be out there now.
It's like not buying green bananas, that old joke.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll be around when they get right. But that is frustrating, and hopefully that'll ease off. But right now,
maybe surprise of surprise, it'll be sooner. But
yeah, I hope so.
The people at Leisure, they try to be very honest.
They're working really hard to get those out there.
They don't want to tell you something that's not true.
Catherine B.
Fairly new here. Nice channel. Do y'all ever venture down to Texas? Not as much as we would like.
We do. We love to use Texas to get us out to the Southwest and then the West and sometimes North. We love Big Bend. We love the Blue Bonnets in the spring. That was hopefully going to be an every year event for us. COVID kind of stopped that. And something else came up this year. We couldn't do it, but we do love Texas. You got to love Texas.
You got to love Texas.
Yeah, I wish everybody in America loved America the way Texas folks love Texas. How's that, Catherine? It's a great state. I love it too. Gloria Maynard.
Looking to purchase an RV GPS. Which one would you recommend?
Okay, this is where the industry takes great exception with me. I would not buy a dedicated RV GPS. I would use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You can offload those maps, so if you lose the cell connection, you still have them. They're much more accurate. They're updated all the time. If you really have a huge RV and you worry about clearance, yeah, you might want to go to a dedicated RV GPS. In 10 years, we've never had, take that back, one time we had one, but we knew plenty in advance. In Iowa, it was under 10 feet. We couldn't get under with the RV. But
how much does a GPS, RV GPS cost?
$150 to $200, $100 if you find them on sale. We have our gathering with our supporters, and thank you, you YouTube supporters. Thank you, your YouTube members and you Facebook supporters. We have a gathering. It's all sold out. It's in Natchez, Mississippi in October, and I'm actually giving away a dedicated RV GPS to our group of people there. They're very nice. And if you're going to get one, I would urge you to look at Magellan. I think they update really good. That's the one I would pick if I was going to get one. But I just use this. I just use my smartphone, and it plays through the big screen in our RV, and I love it.
What have we been using lately that's been giving us grief?
We used the built-in Ford navigation system.
Sorry, I have Ford.
Yeah. Even if I just do, hey, Siri, how do I get to Sandusky, Michigan? Oops, Siri's going to tell me that. I'm sorry. And then I have that patched through. It really works well. So it works. It's just looking for me now on it. All right. Thanks, Gloria. I hope that helped. That's just my opinion. Kathy Taylor.
Okay. Enjoying your boondocking book.
Right here. Boondocking.
Thank you.
The complete guide to boondocking.
Kathy, we love you too. And looking forward to your shows.
Proceed to Shannon Drive, then turn right.
It's killing me.
Thank you. Cancel.
Cancel navigation.
Thank you for your dedication to sharing, teaching, and keeping us informed.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Kathy, for we appreciate that
for encouraging us. Thank you.
Yeah. And our new one that just came out, Kathy, it's an ebook, but the Great Lakes Shoreline Tour. Hope you get a chance. I'll put that up on screen before we go at the end of the night here, in case anybody doesn't know that it's out there. Jerry Packer.
We got to go to Missouri.
We do.
Plenty of water and parks, middle of the country, touching 7 states. We need to go back to Missouri.
Yeah, we've been through Missouri and we loved it. We love the Ozarks. We were going to do a lot of stuff out west this year, and we got on that Natchez Trace trip, which ended up taking up a long period of time, longer than we thought. And we got to visiting all these little towns and these just in Mississippi and in Tennessee, and a little bit of Georgia and Alabama even, and we just loved it. And I think Missouri's another one of those states that we really want to do a bunch. That's why that River Road trip really excites me. I think we want to do that.
And I've said to Mike, I wanted to do more in the heartland, to show people what's available not that far away, and not just the big ones like Yellowstone and Glacier and what everybody thinks of.
I kind of have a hole in my heart for Yellowstone and Glacier because we usually go sometimes twice a year to Yellowstone. But because it is so crowded this year and so many people are first-time visitors, we thought we would concentrate more on the heartland, in the middle part of the country. And we've really enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. We've really enjoyed it. So thank you, Jerry. It is on our list. So
yes,
we can't wait to do it. Paul Ganelli.
We live in a very humid climate down here in Florida. Any advice when we're not traveling on reducing the high levels of humidity in our rig? Any specific products?
There are some products that you can, put in, like powders that'll supposedly, get the humidity out. Frankly, knowing how humid it is, if you park your RV somewhere, hopefully you have power, I would think about putting a dehumidifier in. Small little dehumidifier. One tip that we really recommend is keep your refrigerator open.
The doors
open. It turned off, obviously, but you don't want mildew and the odors to build up in there. So keep them open. Ours, even now, we've had it home for a week, I guess, and the doors are open about that much because we don't want, it's very humid here in Michigan as well. But I'd look at, if you have power for it, I'd look at a small humidifier you can plug in and make sure you go empty it because you'll be amazed at what it pulls in. Occasionally we'll run the air conditioner in ours if it's really humid and we're always putzing around inside of it, and the air conditioner will take that humidity out. That helps. It comes right back again, of course, especially in Florida. John Ford.
Okay, John and Peggy. We chatted a few months ago about having a fifth wheel versus an LTV. We decided to go smaller with the Grand Design 27-foot travel trailer. Do you use the campsite grills?
We don't.
And the lighter?
Yeah, we don't use them. That would let you travel lighter, certainly. And it's not anything, it's just that it's a little bit more work. Charcoal is messy. You got to carry that with you. It takes a long time to get a fire. So we have a little Coleman grill, a little LP grill that we use, a 2-burner grill.
And I don't think it's as good as...
It's not as good. I mean, food tastes better over charcoal. It really does.
Or wood.
But it's just us, we tend to be just the two of us. And, we kind of just, if we're grilling something up, it's usually chicken.
So in other words,
and then after that, we have more chicken.
Gourmet.
And then probably for lunch, we'll have some chicken on a salad.
And then what did we discover about salmon? If you want to lose weight.
Oh, yeah. We try and cook all of our foods because you can't eat out. They just put so much salt in everything. And even if you say low salt, I ordered salmon the other day because I thought it'd be,
and
really
green
good.
Beans.
And it was healthy. And green beans. And the green beans had so much salt on them.
You couldn't eat them.
Yeah. Now, I suppose I could have been obnoxious. Take this back.
Rinse them off.
Yeah, that's not our style. So we're trying, I've been doing real well. I've lost a bunch of weight this summer and more to go. But a big part of that is not eating out and grilling out. So I wouldn't have any problem. You just want to clean off the grill if it's got a lot of crud on it because people don't tend to take care of it. And, you guys got to bring your own charcoal. So if you're boondocking and you're maybe primitive camping and it's just a ring and one of those little things that goes over the fire ring that you can grill on, just burn that stuff off with lots of a big fire. Congratulations on your Grand Design. And I wonder if you bought a new one or a used one because you were thinking about getting new, I know, last time we talked. And I wonder if it was an availability problem that caused you to get the Grand Design because you could get one. So, and Grand Design makes a great rig. So you did well. Catherine B.
I live in Texas. Does your boondocking book cover options in Texas? A lot of our state's land is privately held.
Our boondocking book, this one, is not about where to go. It just tells you public lands and it tells you about BLM lands. And it tells you where to go, how to find boondocking sites, but it doesn't tell you which sites because the book would have to be that thick. And it tells you how to boondock, how to manage your power, your electricity. And so the principles are the same no matter where you go. On the website, if you just look up free and cheap RV campsites, we have this mega post. It's a book length post that goes into, and you want to bookmark that, and it lists every different type of land that you can boondock on all across the country. And it gives you links on how to find sites. That's a free resource on rvlifestyle.com, our travel blog. And I think if you just check cheap, free campsites, it'll pop up there in the search results. There's a little magnifying search thing on rvlifestyle.com. Use that. I bet Chris over on YouTube will find that link and he'll probably post it in the comments. But that's the thing. But the boondocking book is how to boondock, not where exactly to boondock, other than generically look, here are the different places where you can boondock. Hope that answers your question. Robin Ostermeyer.
Do you leave your propane on while driving?
I do. I know it's controversial. Some people say, no, don't do it. Other people say, yeah, right.
And maybe it depends on how old your rig is, how comfortable you feel about it. Yep. Not that new is better than old.
Yep. Yeah, we do have for 10 years. All our propane's well managed. Not that things can't break, but
isn't it with the tunnels and things?
Tunnels and stuff you're not supposed to, but we pretty much leave it on. And it has not, obviously it hasn't been an issue. I hope it never is. Sean Stagg.
How much time do you spend on the road compared to not RVing?
Normally, we're 3/4 timers, 3/4 on the road. Last year, of course, we were probably half timers, and this year we'll probably be closer to half timers as well. But normally, we're on the road about 3/4 of the time.
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever want to be full timers. I like having a base. And with us doing so much now between, like, for example, went over that book, Great Lakes Shoreline Time. We were able to be here in one spot. We have a really dedicated area just to work on it. We're here now working on a bunch of videos. We have a studio here that we use for video. So I'll get caught up on the videos. Then we'll go out and we'll shoot and explore and come back with stories. Then we'll write them and post them. And I like having a dedicated spot for it. And we have a great time. We have we're on the road. If we have our druthers, probably 3/4 of the time, but it'll be closer to half time again this year, I think.
Yeah.
Hokina.
What do you love most about traveling together, even after all these years? We like sharing what we see, the adventure of looking at things and saying, what do you think of that? What do you think of this? Just enjoying life together.
I think that the neatest thing is to wake up in the morning together and realize we're in a beautiful spot and that we're sharing this thing together. And sometimes before we even get out of bed, Jennifer will say, we'll say, this is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. It's from the book of Psalms, but that's kind of the way we look at it. And we just have this excitement and it's that smile. You see, I've seen her smile. I love, it's just when you travel with somebody who, who's not only who you love, but somebody who is actually your best friend. You're sharing stuff. Mm-hmm. So what do we like about travel? What do you like about traveling together?
Well, I like seeing new places and experiencing new things and just exploring, looking around, meeting people. I enjoy that too.
But it says traveling together.
And our country. Well, yeah, we got to go off that. I really love seeing this country.
Me, she could take her leave, but she does like the country. All right. So much for that question. D. Parker.
Okay, greetings from Northern Arizona. When is your next recipe video? Really enjoyed the last one. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the last one. I don't know. When's the next one going to be?
Ask them which one they want. You've got, what do we have? We have the
I've
muffin.
got some blueberry muffins and some
muffins,
barbecue.
Beef barbecue or blueberry muffins. What do y'all want?
Like it's going to take forever to do one of those videos?
Well, I'm yeah. Would you like to edit it? Yeah. We did the cooking part of it. That's her work is done. I now have to edit it. But what do you want? Blueberry muffin recipe? It's killer blueberry muffins, or
they're not. Well, that's it. They're not killer blueberry muffins.
What's a killer blue?
Oh, well, killer that would be really
these
big and really rich and lots of oil.
These are pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
I'm sorry, you put a little bit of butter and melted on a blueberry muffin that just
fresh
came
from
out
the oven.
And these barbecues are great. We'll make up a big batch of that, and then we take it with us in containers.
I just put them in little containers, enough for one for each of us, and it's great. Make a pan of them and put them in the freezer.
Not that many people read or watched the last video we did on it. So
turkey?
The turkey. Yeah, that was a turkey video. Yeah, usually we get quite a few watching. Not that many people watched it. So I'm not. Turkey. I haven't really put.
They should have watched it.
Yeah, if you'd watch more of it, we'd put more cooking videos.
No, I'm talking about pouring from one pan to another.
Yeah, you didn't see that. Yeah, our cooking videos are a little different than what you see.
We're not in demand to cook.
Yeah, if people would not hire us on Iron Chef or on one of those hoity-toity recipe video channels.
Cook because we have to eat.
Yeah. So, Matthew Blau. Hi, Matthew.
Do you think fuel prices will slow RV use? And what price would you think twice before going on a trip?
Depends
on how much money you have.
Yeah.
Think twice before you go on a trip. I'd be more worried about shortages. It would, I mean,
I think it's got to get up over $5 a gallon before it's going to have any effect. I mean, for most RVers, these RVs are, $100,000 for a new one minimum. So they're not going to stop using it because gas goes to $3.50 or more a gallon. But
what about
for others,
families?
For families and
got a week or couple of weeks of vacation.
Others folks, I don't see it being a big issue. At least that's what they said the last time we had it, that they didn't really see a drop off until it approached areas where it approached $5 a gallon. And I don't think we're anywhere near that yet. I hope we don't. Sue Ann Rodenberg.
We live on the Great River Road along the Mississippi River in Iowa. It is beautiful. If you have not been there, I bet it is.
That is really calling me for our next trip, is doing the Great River Road all the way. And we could, I get all excited about it. We could actually do that and then take it all the way down to New Orleans and then come back up to our nachos gathering. We could start in Minnesota where it's that wide. And we love following rivers, so we may do that. That's definitely on my list.
I like Minnesota.
We
don't get there.
Is there any place you don't like?
I don't think so.
Okay, there you go. Thank you, Sue Ann. Don Satow.
What precautions do you take for wild animals while camping and hiking? Well, we can't take bow in bear country. They don't allow you to take dogs in bear country because that would aggravate the bears. You make a lot of noise when you're walking in bear country or where wild animals would be, so you'll scare them off.
Always carry bear spray.
Yes, make a lot of noise. Don't go by yourself.
Make sure it is not expired bear spray either. That's
the hard part. It's kind of expensive, and you're supposed to buy a new can every year.
Yep. It is expensive. Like, they out there that you can probably buy it, for $29 to $39, but out there it's $49 to $59. Some of these places they'll charge that much. So always bear spray. And
jerky without being in a wrapper. No.
Huh?
Don't carry beef jerky without it being in a wrapper. No, I'm just.
Yeah. Put away your food. Have a clean camp. We have twice been surprised by bears on hikes. And
they're out there.
That you will see them, and sometimes in one of them was in an area we never, we just didn't think they'd be there because it wasn't that far away from where people were. But not only did we get surprised by a bear, but there was a big mother moose and her cub that were there as well.
There's also the bear with the cub when we take a little walk. When you're in the national parks, a lot of the bears are used to being around people, and then the poor bear get put down.
Yeah, and so we love bears. I think they're just incredible, but we have a lot of respect for them. You will run into them if you do a lot of hiking out west. And so be noisy. You need to know what to do. And there's a difference between black bear and grizzly bear. We talk about a lot of that in the boondocking book about basic bear safety. Make sure you always have one of these. You always put your food. If you're in a bear country, they have a place like this to put your garbage, which is bear proof. Mm-hmm. Many of them have similar ones for food. So be bear aware, as they say. Mm-hmm. And then, there's things like rattlesnakes you got to watch out for. Patty Minot, you don't want me to talk about rattlesnakes. I know you don't like snakes.
Well, I worry about both, like going to Texas.
Let's say hi to Patty for a $5 super chat, though. First of all,
hi, Patty.
Great you take time for each other and being thankful for one another, finding the same with my husband now. Yeah, thank you. And thank you for the super chat. But yeah, you do worry about the dogs with snakes. Have we seen rattlesnakes? Yeah, we've seen rattlesnakes out there as well. They tend to be shy and they don't want to be around you. But where you'll find them now when it's so hot is underneath your RV. I shouldn't tell people this.
Careful when you step out.
And at night, if you're in hot stuff, always have a light at night. If you're going out and you go out of the RV, you're going to go out and look at the stars. Have a light shining around the ground. It's their home. It's their home. We're the visitors.
Some snakes are more aggressive than others.
Yeah. But
when we first moved down to Georgia with our son, and we were outside the reptile house trying to decide if we're going to go in or not, and the Massasauga went.
No, it was a water moccasin.
Water moccasin.
Cottonmouth. Yeah.
Cottonmouth. It
Yeah.
was right down by
It
our
was,
feet,
they had a snake exhibit there, and this snake was just like a wild snake slithering
right by
past.
everybody's feet,
Yeah, no, excuse me.
coming through.
Yeah.
I noticed because our son's eyes got really big, and I'm like, why are his eyes so big?
Slither. Yeah, that was pretty funny. The Two Travelers.
Do you believe that the way our government and states keep changing the laws about RVing, that there will become a day when we will have no land to RV on without paying?
No, I don't think it'll be from the government or from states. I think what is more likely to happen is that big corporations will buy up or put pressure on everybody to make you camp in their campgrounds and try and shut down boondocking. But that isn't, I think that's a thing of the past too. I think that the industry now has become so lucrative that there's so much interest in making people happy when they RV that there's, for example, I know right now there's a huge burst of construction projects all over the country for campgrounds. And I think that as all the COVID campers who were in it for one and done, 1 year and done, and they're going to be selling their rigs, when that pressure eases off, it'll be much easier to boondock. I think people will take better care of it. There'll be better education. So I don't see that.
But you got to pay on these places that you're talking about. We're looking for places that you don't have to pay, land where you don't have to pay any money.
And there's no doubt that they're shutting down more boondocking spots because people are being so irresponsible.
Yeah,
But that sector or that type of irresponsible, inconsiderate RVer is not typical of most RVers. I think that's typical of a lot of new people who have come into the lifestyle, and they will leave. They're going to say, it's all right, we tried it. It's too much work. I mean, anybody who would just leave all that junk behind on public lands, that is not an RVer. That is not a camper. That is just an exploitive, irresponsible person. And it's going to be too much work for them. So this will all settle down. That's my hope and my belief anyway.
Hope so.
All right.
Getting about
where
that time,
we?
Mr.
Oh my
Mike.
gosh, I can't believe it. All right, I got to tell you, there you go. That's how you find our latest book. It is that tour of the Great Lakes. It was released yesterday, so we're kind of still launching it. Please tell other people about it. Consider it for yourself. It's the kind of a trip that you can do over a whole summer, over a month, over a few weeks. You can do it in different sections. You can get this ebook and you can use it for multiple years because it tells you a lot about which way to go, what to see, what's in the communities. We had a great deal of fun doing it and came away realizing that is one of the best kept secrets, the Great Lakes shoreline in all of the RV lifestyle you can find anywhere. So give it a try. Check out that book. It's our latest book, and it just came out yesterday. See our new merch, all of our cool clothing. There's Jen with our signature Small House Big Yard t-shirt. We've got a bunch of others that are out there. Wear them. Send us your pictures of you wearing our merch. We'd love to put those up and share them on our social media and Instagram. And you can find all that at this address right there below your screen.
And if people like the women's style rather than...
Yeah, we have women's style available. What size is that you're wearing?
I think it's a medium.
Medium, yeah. They tend to run the women's a little smaller.
Especially the lavender.
Yeah. And then we mentioned this earlier, our partners page. And these are various people who, most of them will offer a perk or a discount or some special thing to you as a follower of the RV Lifestyle channel and platform. So just go to that on your website, take a look, see what's there. Everything from, finding those apps to finding dump station to trip planning to insurance and many other things where you can get, pretty substantial discounts. So that's it. That's all we got for you this week. Don't forget the newsletter comes out in the morning. And what else do we have to say? Oh, and then our podcast this week, we're going to have a lot of fun with the podcast. We have all of your questions and your comments. And then we're going to talk to our friends, Mark and Julie Bennett from RV Love. They just came out with a brand new book called RV Hacks. And we'll get them to share each of their favorite hack. And I'll tell you one I found in their book that I like as well a lot. So That's it for this this edition. Thanks to Phyllis. Thanks to Chris Cowley for being there, and thank you guys for watching this week after week. Again, let us know what you'd like us to do in terms of content, places to go, things to see, and we love hearing from you. God bless you all, and have a great week.
Happy trails.